Hello and welcome to episode 137. I didn't even check. I think it's 137.
I have no idea.
If not, Andrew can put some funny annotation over correcting me. Anyways, this is, I think, episode 137 of the DaebakCast. This is a weekly podcast where I guess I should just start saying some of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the K-pop industry. This week I am joined by Baron, who I don't know if he has an intro or anything because this is my first time appearing with him.
I was going to say shout out to Evie and shout out to Egg because I told him I'd shut them out.
All right. Shout out to both of y'all. Join Discord. That's where you can meet the both of them if you want. You can chat with us. It's mucho lit, as the kids say. And yeah. I'm Jacob. Blow notes actually like right here, I think, on my shelf. But
You can barely see it.
yeah, it's there. Anyways, I guess we can get the show on the road since there's only two of us and Baron doesn't really have a long introduction or anything, so
Nope.
Yeah.
No three things here.
anyways. So this week we got only three topics. We got a brand new review, we got a retro review, and then we have another retrospective sort of topic like we did last week for FX, which I thought was kind of fun, so it should be nice this week. Yeah, so I guess we can just get right in the first topic.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so for the first topic, we have a review of the brand new album from 볼빨간사춘기, or BOL4, or 볼빨간사, or whatever you want to call them. 2.5 is the name of their new mini. And yes. So I guess I'll read the track list for this, and then you can read off the next topic. So anyways, starting off this album, we have the track called Workaholic, which the first time I heard this, I was kind of surprised because it's doesn't sound like what they normally come out with.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about them, but I was
Okay.
like, oh man, this is way different than what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's a lot more I guess mature. It reminded me of a Sunmi song or something like that. I guess like
Yeah.
a Sunmi B-side or something. Yeah, it's definitely a more mature progressions for them. It's got almost a darker, more mysterious tone to it, which I think is kind of interesting theme for them to take on. I thought the guitar work from Jiyoon, who is the member who doesn't sing usually. She usually
Is she the one?
plays the
So
guitar.
she's the one without the blue hair.
Yes.
Okay.
And the bass line in this I thought was also really nice. I'm not sure if she played that or not. I don't know if she plays bass or not.
It was
But,
really good though. I
yeah.
noticed that too as well.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the only negative I had for this song was I felt like the melody for the chorus sounded a little bit similar to Boom, which was their last single.
Oh.
So, but other than that, I thought it was a great song and I really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah. So I've kind of made fun of this group in the past because all their music kind of sounds samey to me. It was
yeah.
it kind of blends together. But I really love this song. Fantastic song. I think maybe because people have been saying it's a little bit different than the stuff they normally put out. And maybe that's why it kind of captured me or whatever. But it definitely has I went back and I listened to all their back stuff as well over the past week. And it's their past stuff is very almost feel good, happy, and this is a
Yes.
little bit different vibe to it. It's a little bit, like you said, a little bit darker, a little bit. I'm definitely on board with that.
Okay.
The guitars were great. I really like the snapping in the song. Good use
Yeah.
of that. And then I noticed that on a couple songs they have a little electric guitar that comes in at the end.
Yes.
It's kind of faint, but that's a very nice touch. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, so next up we have 25, which also kind of much in the vein of the previous song Workaholic, which we just talked about. It's much more electronic than we're used to, I guess, than the previous song, or than not than the previous song, than their previous work. I do, however, I like the low tempo like electronic beats that they use throughout. It kind of gives it kind of a bubbly sort of vibe almost. I guess like the beats themselves kind of feel almost like bubbles popping every once in a while, kind of. I think Ji-young's like understated vocals I thought were really great, and even the dynamics of like the overall melody I thought was interesting. It almost felt like she was kind of like rapping in some parts, which I found kind of interesting. Like I guess just it's not like sing rap, it's like rap sing, I guess, if that makes sense. It's like on the other side of that spectrum. And yeah, overall I thought this was a really good song, but I don't think it was better than their previous title tracks, because I am one of the people who really likes their past work. But yeah, like overall I still thought this was a really solid song, and I thought it was a good progression of, I think it's a good direction they're going in. I do mention later that I almost don't want them to keep going in this direction, but I wouldn't mind it if they do. I'll explain later what I mean by that. Also the MV, shout out to that. I thought the visual aesthetic of that was really nice, with like the different color palettes they made. Ji-young's blue hair looks really amazing. I love that.
It looks fantastic. Like a lot of times like the very bright colors doesn't work quite well, but it looks really good.
It looks so good here. But yeah, like I'm really impressed by the like amount of style they were able to pull off in the MV. With like, it doesn't look like they spent a ton of money on it, so like they really did a good job with what they had. So yeah, I really like the MV on this.
I guess we should say that Workaholic also has an MV that I thought was better than this song.
Oh, I didn't even. All right, well I guess I'm stupid because I didn't even know Workaholic had an MV. Yeah,
I didn't know 25 had an MV until like today when I was listening to the songs again.
Yeah, I knew that 25 did, because I thought that was just the title track, and I saw it in my sub box.
I think the Workaholic one is better. It, like the same things kind of apply to it. It's okay. You can tell it's like a very low budget thing. There's only like 2 sets that they put in, but like they do a good job with it, and both of them are pretty good at like, it's like a kind of a hammy kind of campy video, and they do a good job acting in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching this right now. It's like sort of office environment, the train. It's kind of like everyday life sort of thing. It's kind of cool.
It's kind of funny. Like she goes to the job and like hates it, and then like rides the subway home, and then passes out, and then rides the subway to work. Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is fitting for the title of the song. So
yeah. For 25, the song, I'll say like the first time I heard it, I didn't quite like it that much. It was kind of like, I'm not sure what was off with it. Like maybe felt like a little too, like you mentioned the word bubbly. Like I definitely kind of got that vibe to it or something.
Yeah.
But I listened to it many times since then. Yeah. And I do like it a lot more now than I did initially. I think more like once I got accustomed to it and got more familiar with it, I like it more. It's a nice song. I definitely don't like it nearly as much as Workaholic, but it's a very good song as well.
Yeah. I could probably agree with that. I think I like Workaholic a little bit more, just because it's a little more like starkly different than what we're used to hearing from them. Coming up next is XX, which in contrast to the last 2 songs, I think is more of a return to form as far as the music style goes.
Yeah, this is like what I expected from them, like this type of music.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird because like, while I'm glad they're trying something new stylistically, I think I'd prefer them to continue making this sort of music, except keep expanding in this direction rather than stay in the same spot. I mean, this, like, it works really well for at least for me. Like, it hasn't really gotten old even after a few years. I guess for you it's the opposite. It's just
well, I mean, it's not like I dislike it. Like I think it's like, I went back and listened to their whole back catalog, like I said, and it's all good music. Like I don't dislike any of the music. It's just kind of like it blends together.
Just need more variation.
I listen to like the whole Red Planet album, and it's like I can remember like 2 things from the album, and like I liked it, and it's a good album, but I just can't really differentiate it. And I'm sure if I listened to it more, I'd be able to get more familiar with it. And
for me on like Red Planet, the standouts are like obviously like Galaxy. That song's classic.
Galaxy is very good.
And then like Hard to Love is one of my favorite ballads from them. I really love that song on the album. Yeah, anyways, back to XX. I think if they continue to like develop their previous signature song or sound, I mean, and this is the big part for me is like I'm more than okay with them going into more of a like mature direction with their music, but I'd like them to avoid the like electronic sound altogether.
Yeah.
Because I think they would benefit more from it musically and continue to stand out that way. Because I think having sort of like I don't know how to put it, like grassroots, I guess, like do it yourself sort of ethos to them, like they're just
like a kind of like a singer-songwriter type.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's really charming for them is like the kind of quirks they have, and I think taking away the physicality, I guess, of the instruments they're using, I think would harm that more than help. So
yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, that's basically like where my headspace is as far as like them changing their sound. Like I do want them to continue moving towards something, you know, maybe more mature, maybe something completely different in genre, but I want them to keep with the like sort of acoustic or traditional instrument sort of thing they have going on, I guess. So
yeah. I'm hoping I'm not jumping the gun here, but what do you think about this version compared to the acoustic version of the song?
Yeah, we can talk about both of those now. So
yeah.
I actually really like the acoustic version like way more. And
interesting. Yeah.
The reason for that is I think the guitars and the vocals are way more crisp, and I think the reason for that is that because it's stripped back more, all the individual layers of the song have a lot more room to breathe.
Yeah, they're more prominent.
Like, yeah, as far as like the sound space goes, and I think for this sort of song, it really makes the best part of the song just stand out front and center for me. So like, I think it's much better than the regular one, which I already thought was a great song. So
it's interesting because I definitely think the opposite. Like I like both of them. The acoustic version is like maybe a little bit too bare bones for me. Like it's good and I can appreciate it, but since I don't have as much familiarity with the artist, it like doesn't quite connect with me. And I like that there's a little bit more going on in the album version or like the non-acoustic version.
Yeah.
And it's a very good song. Like I love the way on older songs, Ji Young's, is that her name, Ji Young?
Yeah, Ji Young is the singer, and then Ji Yoon is the guitarist.
Yeah, they do a great job matching her vocals to the instrumentals, and they play well together on like all the songs, it seems.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Like, I think there's merit to both. Like, there's definitely merit to both versions. I like both of them. Like, but I think the acoustic, like, what I like about it is that it's so stripped back and it's just like back to basics. Like, sort of, like I could see myself being there and seeing it live. Like, I guess is kind of the appeal to me. Is that it's just simple and does the basics like so well, I guess. Basically, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
So next up we have the song Taste. So right off the bat, this is one of my favorites on the album. Like, there's a couple that I really liked, especially. So for Taste, I really like the guitar intro for the song. It's like a high energy version of a lounge acoustic song, if that makes sense. Like it's a little faster paced, but I could still see it being in that genre if it's a little bit slower in tempo. This is the kind of thing I think would be more like what I described with the last song. Like, it doesn't sound exactly like their own music, but it continues with the acoustic sound. It doesn't get too far on the weeds as far as incorporating electronic songs go, and it doesn't sound exactly like their old music. I think like something like this I think would be a nice progression for me.
Like, this is the type of music that kind of picks me up. So like if they continue doing music like this, I'm all in.
Yeah.
If they go back to doing like their last album specifically was like didn't quite mesh with me.
Oh,
but, like, this style.
Are you talking about the BOM album, Puberty Book 1? Okay.
Yeah. But like this style of music and this song specifically is fantastic. Like I'm definitely here for this.
Yeah. I think like for me, like peak Ballpark for me is Red Diary, like both of those albums. They're just really fun and sweet, and were definitely a progression off of Red Planet. Whereas I feel like Puberty Book almost sounded like going back to Red Planet again.
Yeah, Puberty Book, that was my like probably my least favorite one. That was
I think so also. Like I think Balm is a great song, but I don't really listen to the other ones as much. Although I think that's mostly just because that's the album I've listened to the least from them.
Yeah.
So I could go back and revisit it and see if I think differently, but definitely Red Diary followed by Red Planet would be like the classics for me. This I need more time with, obviously, but great album still.
Yeah. I think for this one, like I said earlier, like the instrumentals in this one are just fantastic, and they flow really well with the vocals.
Yeah.
And also like the electric guitar makes an appearance again at the end of this song as well. And like the chorus is a ton of fun, and like there's the like part where you can sing along with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. One other thing, I really love how like whispery Ji Young's voice is in this song. I think that stood out really well to me.
Yeah, she does those like whisper vocals very well.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have lastly Day Off, since we already did the acoustic version of XX. Yeah, this was probably my favorite on the album. I don't know, like it's between Taste, Day Off, and XX, like because they're all like equally really good for me. Like the phone noises, the static, I think those really like I really like the like ambient like working in with like ambient noises and stuff like that. I think it makes it sound so cool. Especially if you have like speakers or headphones that kind of have the dynamic range to sort of like play with it enough. Even like the twinkly piano that was sprinkled in on certain parts also sort of like helped to set up like kind of a almost environment within the song. I also think this easily has her best vocals on the whole album. The chorus is really simple, it's really catchy, and yeah, like I thought this song turned out like so nicely. So yeah, I think this is probably my favorite on the album. It reminds me of a lot of like singer-songwriter type music from like maybe like the mid 2000s. So yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, I really like the intro, like you said. There's like the cool like ambient sounds, and then I like how it's called like Day Off, and then you can hear just like her ignoring the phone vibrating. I think it's like a really good touch. The part I don't like is the static noise at the beginning.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Especially if you're listening to it like it kind of loudly, like it kind of pierces my ears when I listen to it. I was like, oh man, that's kind of aggressive. Okay. And I listened to it on like a normal volume. It's fine. It's just like sometimes I listen to music kind of loud, and it was a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's me when I listen to like Eyes One or something, for example. Like if you just leave your volume up too loud and listen to like their new song Vampire, your ears just die because it's all like really high frequency. Like yeah, we'll talk about that later, I'm assuming. So yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's everything for the music. So I guess we can go into ratings from here. So for music, I'm still teetering between like by like a half point for the music. Like on one hand, I want to give it a 6, but I almost want to give it a 6.5 after listening to it a couple times more for the review. I don't know. I think for now I'll leave it at a 6, and I guess just leave it with a note that it could increase later, I guess.
Yeah.
So 6 out of 7 for music is what I gave it. And then for concept, I gave it 2.5 out of 3 because I thought the MV for 25 was especially good. And then I thought Workaholic was really good as well after just watching it while talking about it. So yeah, 2.5 out of 3 for the concept. So overall, I gave it 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, so this might be surprising, but I definitely did not expect to like this going into it. And I was very pleasantly surprised with how much I do like it. And Workaholic specifically was a fantastic song. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 7 for music as well.
Okay.
And then for styling, I think largely because I really enjoyed the Workaholic music video. 25 music video was very good as well, but not as good.
Yeah.
And also, I felt like the Workaholic music video is like a little bit maybe relatable for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give them actually a 3 out of 3 for styling. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Awesome. All right, I'll take it. So I think that'll average to being a truly Daebak album. So I'll definitely take that for a Bullpuck album.
And I think it's definitely unexpected for me. I definitely did not expect to give this that high of a score going into it.
Yeah, it's also surprising that you gave a higher score than me for one of my favorite groups. So yeah, that's really funny. So yeah, I guess so overall 9 out of 10. From the two. Wait, we didn't get notes from the other guys, right?
I don't think we did.
Okay, I'm gonna just
I'm not positive.
type in.
I don't remember seeing anyone else's scores, so.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because nobody else cares.
Yeah, the last time anyone else has mentioned Bullpuck is Stu and Food and Cooking, talking about Bullpuck stock travel like yesterday. Yeah, so I don't think anybody else gave a score. So with that, 9 out of 10, truly Daebak album. So FX was one of the very first groups I ever found in K-pop, because I think FX is obviously kind of a natural progression from SNSD, who are my first group, because they're in the same company. So in my recommended, I'll get the same videos. I think the first video I